Hi everyone, Barry here from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today. So today's project is going to be a nice simple project and quick simple project for you. It is going to be a rainbow card using up your offcuts which you will have. So all of these little scraps of cardstock and paper which you will have lying around, possibly in your crafty stash, which we don't know what to do with, so we're going to use them. Obviously, as I mentioned already, it's a rainbow card as well. So with the current climate and the situation which is going on at the moment, this card is a rainbow, and it is as a way of obviously appreciation to all of the frontline workers and all of the NHS workers which are out there helping us and getting us through this awkward situation at the moment. So this card is for all of you. I'd love to be able to send a card to every single one of you, but hopefully we can inspire some people to make their own cards to give out to people as well. So with that in note, I'm going to crack on and start making the card. So you can follow along and make one of these as well. So you're going to grab your trimmer, okay? I'm going to grab I've got some black cardstock, and I'm going to cut this down to 14.5 centimeters, okay? And then I'm going to score it down the middle, rotate it and score it down the middle at 10.5 centimeters. So what this has done is this is going to create your card base. All right. So we'll fold that over, and I'm just going to pop this to one side for a second. We'll come back to that one in a moment. All right. Then what you're going to do is you're going to want to grab some Whisper White cardstock. So I've already cut this piece down already. So this is going to be your layer. Okay, or your mat even. So this is going to be down to 10 centimeters by 14 centimeters. All right, pop that to one side, and then you're going to want to grab some copy paper, and we're going to want to do the same. We're going to want to cut this at 14 centimeters by 10 centimeters. The reason I'm using copy paper is I just need something to adhere the cardstock too, so I don't want to waste any of my good cardstock. So this is just a layer which is going to get covered up. All right, so once you've got that, leave that to one side, and then what you want to do is you want to grab your scrap pieces. So grab the colours which obviously resemble the rainbow, so which is what we've got here, and you're just going to grab your pieces and you will pop it in. Obviously what you want to do is first of all is make sure obviously it's wide enough so that it's going to cover over the cardstock. Obviously if you go with something which is going to be too short, then you're going to get white either side. So do something which is going to be at least the width of your copy paper, okay? So longer than probably around about 12 to 13 centimeters, because we're going to go at a slight angle as well. So we're going to pop this in your trimmer, and I'm just going to cut off strips. I will need I would say about 2 of each colour. So we'll go at different thicknesses, and they're not going to be the same. So you want to do that. So you're going to start off with having 2 of everything, and the same thing. We're just going to work our way through. So we have a bit here, some green. And I'll start off and I'll do this thinner one. And you want to do this for every single colour. So I've got red, obviously red. We've got some orange. This is the Grapefruit Grove. Then we're going to move on to Daffodil Delight. Then after Daffodil Delight, we're going to have the Call Me Clover. And then after Call Me Clover, we will have Blueberry Bushel. And then after that, we will then have Gorgeous Grape. Okay, that's going to create our rainbow. So to save on some time, I've already gone ahead and I have pre-cut all of these. So grab out your copy paper again. And here's all of my strips, my random strips. Grab some glue. So we're going to start off with red. And I'm going to pop that somewhere in the middle, like so. I'm going to start off in the middle. So I'm going to just pop the glue down on the copy paper, is what I want to do. way to the edge as well. And we're just going to start sticking this on like so. So then we move on to the orange or the grapefruit grove, and then we're just going to be butting this up against everything. So if you can, try and avoid glue splodges like I just did there. And then we move on to the Daffodil Delight. So you can see we're just building this up, butting everything up as we go along to fill in the gaps. So I'm just going to pop that to one side for a moment and get that, and just let that dry up before I trim it. Because if I try and trim it too soon, before the glue's set and dry, obviously when I run it through the trimmer, it's probably going to snag and it's going to tear. So I'm going to move on to the inside. Because we're using black cardstock, obviously you can't write on the inside. So we are going to need to take some Whisper White. Okay, so again, I've cut this down to the same size, so 10 by 14, and you're going to grab your strips again, and what I want you to do is you're going to want to cut some really thin strips off of all of these, so really, really tiny. So I've already gone ahead and I've gone and done all of that, which is like so. And the same thing, we're going to build up a little rainbow on the inside, so I'm just going to pop some glue down. So we're going to do it. That's it. So you just need some thin layers. So we're just going to start off with, they're going to work backwards. So we're going to work with the Gorgeous Grape first. So all of these pieces of paper at the moment, all of these base layers are bigger than what I need because I want to cut them down afterwards. So we're going to pop the Gorgeous Grape in first. And we're going to pop that in like that, because they are varying different lengths. So what I don't want to do is I want to just try and get them in and then cut them down to size afterwards. So again, I'm just going to leave that to one side just to dry up before I start to trim it. So whilst that's gluing and getting good and stuck, I'm going to bring over the first part. All right, so we will use this on the back part here because I'm going to use this as a guide. When you're trimming through this, as I've already found out once, you need to be quite firm when you're doing this. So we're going to come in, be quite firm, so push down quite hard on your blade, because if you're coming too light, it's going to snag. So we're going to push down quite hard and be quite positive. Just go for it, go through it. All right, don't delay, don't hesitate, and then cut that off, and then you'll get yourself a nice smooth edge. on my first one, which I did, I delayed and I dilly-dallied a little bit when doing it, and I snagged and I caught it, and it didn't look too great, so I had to trim it down more than I needed. And then we're going to just cut this one off here. So I like to go up if I can. So again, now that I've got a straight edge, I can now butt it up against the top. In and be firm. 1, 2, 3. Up we go. And then we can work our way around. So I want this to go down to a 9.5. So I'm now taking this to 9.5 centimeters here. And firm. In we go. So 9.5, which then means I need to take that to 13.5. So I'm then just going to pop it at 13.5 and firm. There we go. So we got rid of that. And that's now what that looks like on the front, like so. The reason I did those sizes is because it's now 0.5 centimetre lower than the card base, which I cut earlier on. So remember, the card base was 14 by 10. So we've now gone 13.5 by 9.5, which has then created that part there. All right. So we will now stick this to this card layer. Alright, so that's the front of the card. Pop that to one side for a moment. I'm going to come back onto this layer which we've done earlier on. So I just need to now cut this down. I'm going to use my little guillotine on this one here. So I've got another little trimmer just because it's quite fine. So I just need to just take down those little bits there, just to tidy that edge off. And the same thing up here. Like that. Okay, so let me just see how much I've snipped off now. So which is 13. So I'm just going to take off a little bit more. So I want to take it down to 13. So I'm eyeballing this now. So, which there you go. That's actually 13 exactly. That was a good eyeball. So 13. So I need to take it as 1.5 centimeters. So I'm going to trim this down to. Going to trim this down to 9. Okay, so I'm just going to take this off quite easily. That side there. Right. So basically all that's done now is it's given us a nice tidy edge here. Okay, so that's fine. And then that can sit in quite nicely in the middle of the card. So we're going to now ready to pop this in the middle. So there we go, there's the inside. Right, so I'm going to grab in a sentiment. So here's a sentiment which we've already done. If you want to see how this was actually done, this technique with this sentiment, watch one of our previous videos. It's over here on YouTube. I'll pop a link to it down below and you can see how we created this sentiment here. I'm going to grab some of our Stampin' Dimensionals and I'm going to pop some of these on the back. Okay, so that then is now going to sit on the front of this card like so. Have I got that straight? Yeah. So that's going to sit on the front of the card like that. Then to finish off, I'm going to grab some of the Noble Peacock rhinestones here. I can open these up. Brand new, not been used yet, these ones. Because these are really nice colours. You can see you've got the very the colours of the rainbow in here as well. We've got the yellows, green, pinks, purples and the blue, so which is nice. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some of these around. So let's grab a purple on there. Let's grab a blue. And I'm going to go with a few here. Pop in the yellow on the yellow, like so. And I reckon I will finish off with one green. And we'll come down. Like so. So that just adds a little bit of bling to the card. So there we go. That there is my inspired card, obviously by the current events, as a thank you to all of our frontline and NHS workers. Okay, and with the inside as well, so you can then write your own little message in there as well. All right, so I hope you liked that video, and please leave a comment down below and let us know what you think. Obviously, if you'd like this as well, obviously we've only got one, so I can't send it to everyone, but if you'd like it, then please pop us a message and we will quite happily send it out to somebody as a little thank you. All right, so that's that one. Please hit the subscribe button and the little bell down over here as well to be notified of any future updates, any future videos which we do. Links to our to our online shop will all be down below as well. So please please support us and help us to be able to bring you more videos like this. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching, and we will be back with you again very, very soon. Thanks very much. Bye for now. Bye.